Day 21, Ionic Compounds with Roman Numerals, Part 1. Today we're going to expand on what we did last week. We are going to include those elements in which there is more than one in the box. So grab that periodic table of ions. Now last week we stayed with elements in which there was only one in the box. So Na with a +1 charge was just called sodium, just like the name in the periodic table of elements. Now this week, what we're going to do is we're going to look in which there is more than one in the box. Now, when there's more than one in the box, the name will change and it will include Roman numerals. But the neat thing is the Roman numeral corresponds to the charge of the ion. So that should make sense. What I mean is, like Ti with a +4 charge, that is titanium 4 with the Roman numeral 4. Titanium 4, Ti 4+ charge. What about titanium with a +3 charge? Well, then that would be titanium 3. So you'd use the Roman numeral 3. If there is more than one in the box, you must use the Roman numerals. The name will include those. If there is only one in the box, then you don't have to worry about Roman numerals. You don't write them down. But if there's more, you have to use Roman numerals. Now, I will caution you, just because there's only 2 in the box that you see on your periodic table of ions, that doesn't mean that there couldn't be others. There's only space here to write 2. I mean, I could have titanium 5. If I had titanium 5, it would have a +5 charge. Okay, so there are others. So don't limit yourself to what you see in the periodic table of ions. Okay, so let's practice. Let's get it going. So we cruise on down here. Okay, just like last week, the whole goal is to get to 0. Now we're just going to use it where there's elements that have more than one ion. Same thing, the name just changes. So it's just additional practice to reinforce what we did last week. Okay, so +1 - 1 = 0, +2 - 2 = 0, and +3 - 3 = 0. I'm going to start off with Cu with a +1, Cu with a +1. Well, you'll remember that in our periodic table of ions that Cu is copper, and because I'm using a +1, that means the name of that ion is copper 1. Okay, so copper 1. Now I come down here, I have a +1 - 1 = 0. I'm using copper 1, so when I shove them together and get this CuCl, the name of that compound is called copper 1 chloride. And you must use that Roman numeral, copper 1 chloride. And if I mix copper 1 with bromide, which is a -1, then that would be copper 1 bromide. Gold, Au, you'll notice that gold has more than one ion. Gold has a +1 and a +3. So gold 1 would correspond to the +1 charge. All right, so this would be gold 1 chloride. Tl is thallium, thallium 1 chloride. Copper 1 fluoride. So again, anytime there's more than one in the box, we have to use that Roman numeral. And that's our +1 - 1 = 0. That's great stuff. Now, let's move on to +2 - 2 = 0. Now, +2, I'm using Cu with a +2. Before it was Cu with a +1, now it's Cu with a +2 charge. Cu with a +2 is called copper 2. O with a -2 charge, well, that's oxide. So I have, when I shove them together, that +2 - 2 = 0, I get CuO, and the name of that compound must be called copper 2 oxide. All right, copper 2 oxide. If I chose nickel with a +2, then it would be nickel 2. S is sulfide, nickel 2 sulfide. Cobalt +2, cobalt 2 selenide. Cobalt 2 selenide. Fe is +2. That would be iron 2 oxide. Go back up here. Let's check that out. Here's iron. Iron can be a +2 or a +3 usually. So +2, it's iron 2 oxide. Right there, iron 2 oxide. Fe with a +2 charge, you have to use that Roman numeral 2. Sn with a +2 is tin 2 oxide. Tin 2 oxide. All right, now let's round this out with +3 -3. Nickel 3. Nickel 3 and nitride is -3. Shove them together. Nickel 3 nitride. Cobalt with a +3. Cobalt 3 phosphide. Iron 3 phosphide. Chromium 3 nitride. Vanadium 3 nitride. So when we use the Roman numeral, that allows us to identify the specific ion of that element. So let's do another example. Let's say that I asked you to tell me the name of this compound. I want to know the name of that compound. So how would you name it? Well, the first thing you would do is you'd say, oh, well, Mn is manganese. So I grab my periodic table of ions and I go to manganese. Manganese can either be a +2 or a +4. Okay, so there's more than one in the box, so I have to use Roman numerals. And then what we have is sulfide. Sulfide is S, and if you forgot, sulfide right there, right? Sulfide has a -2 charge. I know that this sulfide has a -2 charge, and I only have one of them. And I only have one manganese. So which ion could it possibly be? How do I know if it's +2 or +4? Well, I have to go back to this math equation right here. +2 - 2 equals 0. I have to get to 0. So something -2 equals 0, that something is a +2. This compound must be named manganese. Manganese 2 sulfide. Okay? So I want you to use that logic, that step in logic for that. If I had Fen, how would you be able to tell me what the name of that compound is? Well, the first thing you'd do is you'd say iron. Iron has more than one ion, so I know I'm going to use Roman numerals. But nitride is -3. I have to get to 0. Something -3 equals 0. That means this has to be a +3. Iron 3 nitride. Iron 3 and nitride. And that's how we do the naming. It's just that easy. When you know you have to get to 0, look at the number of each ion that you have. Count up the charges, use the appropriate math equation that's going to help you get to 0, and you can figure out what the name of that compound is easily. Alright, so now I want you to get after it. Try some examples on the homework, and if you got any questions, just let me know. Alright, have a great day.